Once upon a time, in a quiet little American town, surrounded by golden wheat fields and whispering trees, a girl named Emily sat alone on the steps of her front porch. She was 12, bright, curious, and full of dreams. But that evening, her eyes were heavy with tears. In her small hands, she held a crumpled sheet of paper. Her art contest entry, rejected at school. The words written in red ink still burned in her mind. Nice try, but not good enough. Her father, Daniel, watched from a few feet away. He was a tall, gentle man with hands rough from years of carpentry, but eyes soft as autumn skies. He walked toward her quietly, the floorboards creaking under his boots. Daniel, Emily, what's wrong, sweetheart? She quickly wiped her face, pretending to be fine, but her trembling voice betrayed her. Emily, they didn't pick my painting, Dad. They said it looked messy. I tried so hard, but I guess I'm just not good at anything. Daniel crouched beside her, his heart aching to see his little girl so broken. Daniel, you know, I used to feel the same way when I was your age. Emily looked up, surprised. Her father, the man who could fix anything, once felt like her. Emily, but you're good at everything. You build tables, fix cars, even make Mom laugh when she's sad. Daniel smiled faintly. Daniel, I wasn't always that way. When I was your age, I dreamed of building things too. But the first time I tried to make something, it fell apart before I could even finish. I cried so hard I almost gave up. He paused, staring into the orange glow of sunset. Daniel, that night, my father told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Son, broken things aren't failures. They're lessons waiting to be fixed." Emily frowned, trying to understand. Emily, but how can something broken be a lesson? Daniel picked up her torn painting and studied it carefully. The colors were bright but uneven, full of energy and mistakes, yet full of life. Daniel, do you see these brushstrokes? They tell a story. This one here shows how brave you were to try a new color. And this one, it shows how you didn't stop, even when it got hard. That's not failure, Emily. That's courage on paper. Emily's eyes glistened. She had never thought of it that way before. That evening, Daniel invited her into his workshop. A cozy wooden shed, filled with the smell of sawdust and varnish. Under the warm yellow light, he pulled out a box of small, broken wooden toys. Daniel, these are all projects I started years ago. Some cracked, some bent, some never finished. But each one taught me something new. He handed her a little wooden bird with a broken wing. Daniel, this one reminds me to be patient. It took me 3 tries to fix it, but I finally did. And when I did, it could fly again. Emily, you mean you didn't throw them away? Daniel, never. Because every broken dream still has a heartbeat inside, waiting for someone to believe again. Emily ran her fingers over the wooden bird and smiled faintly. Emily, can we fix one together? Daniel, that's my girl. They spent hours sanding, gluing, and painting, side by side. Daniel guided her hands, teaching her how to smooth rough edges gently. When they finished, the small bird stood proudly on the workbench, its wings spread wide, shining under the light. Daniel, see, Emily, you don't fix things by throwing them away. You fix them by giving them another chance. That night, Emily hung the little bird by her window. The moonlight touched its wooden wings, and she whispered, "I'll fix my dreams too, Dad." Days passed. Emily began painting again. Small sketches at first, then full scenes. This time, she didn't chase perfection. She painted with joy. Every mistake became a new color. Every tear became texture. Every doubt became art. Daniel watched quietly, proud of her growing confidence. One Saturday morning, the town announced another art contest. This time, for the annual harvest fair. Emily hesitated. "What if I lose again?" she whispered. Daniel placed his calloused hand on her shoulder. "Daniel, then you'll learn again. Remember, sweetheart, dreams don't die when they break. They grow stronger when you rebuild them. Encouraged by his words, Emily entered again. The school gym buzzed with laughter and chatter. Dozens of colorful paintings lined the walls. Sunsets, animals, portraits. Emily's painting sat quietly in the corner, a picture of a little wooden bird flying beneath a rainbow. She titled it, Second Chances. When the judges walked by, Emily's heart pounded. She wasn't sure if they'd stop to notice hers. But they did. One judge leaned closer, admiring the gentle details of the bird's repaired wing. Judge, this one tells a story. Hours later, the winners were announced. Emily didn't win first place. She didn't even win second. But something amazing happened. People gathered around her painting, moved by its meaning. A woman whispered, "It's so beautiful. My mother used to tell me the same thing. Never give up." Another man said, "I wish my daughter could see this." Emily's eyes filled with tears. Not of sadness, but of joy. Her father hugged her tightly. "Daniel, you see, you fixed more than your dream today. You fixed hearts." That evening, they sat on the porch again, watching the sun dip behind the golden fields. The air smelled like grass and hope. Emily, "Dad, I didn't win, but I don't feel like I lost." Daniel smiled. "Daniel, that's because you didn't. You learned the secret my father taught me, and now I'm passing it to you." Emily, "What secret?" Daniel, "The world doesn't break our dreams to hurt us. It breaks them to see how much we care enough to rebuild. And every time we rebuild, we become stronger, wiser, kinder." Emily leaned her head on his shoulder. Emily, "So, fixing dreams is like fixing those wooden toys." Daniel, "Exactly. You don't throw them away when they break. You fix them because you love them." The wind rustled through the trees as twilight deepened. Fireflies began to glow softly around them. Daniel picked up his old guitar and began to hum a gentle tune. It was the same melody his father used to play when Daniel was a boy. A song about second chances. Emily joined in, her laughter mixing with the sound of the strings. Years rolled by, like seasons turning in the fields. Emily grew up, went to college, and became an artist. Not the kind who paints for trophies, but one who paints to heal hearts. On the day of her first art exhibition, Daniel stood beside her proudly. On the gallery's front wall hung her most famous painting, a small wooden bird with wings made of gold, flying across a sky of bright, hopeful colors. Below it was written, "Dedicated to my father, who taught me to fix what I once thought was broken." Daniel's eyes glistened. He turned to her softly. "Daniel, you did it, Emily." Emily, "No, Dad." "We did." They hugged. The kind of hug that holds years of love, mistakes, lessons, and forgiveness. One evening, much later, Daniel sat on the same porch, now older, his hands slower, his hair silver like soft clouds. Emily's little daughter, Lily, climbed into his lap, holding a broken toy bird. Lily, "Grandpa, can you fix this?" Daniel chuckled gently, tears forming in his eyes. Daniel, "Of course, sweetheart. But do you know what your mommy taught me long ago?" Lily, "What?" Daniel, "That broken things aren't the end. They're just the beginning of something stronger." Lily smiled, watching as he glued the toy's wing carefully. The circle of wisdom continued, from father to daughter, and now to granddaughter. As the sun set once again over the fields, Daniel whispered to himself, "Dreams may break, but love always fixes them." Moral of the story: dreams don't die when they break. They grow stronger when you rebuild them. When life knocks you down, remember, every crack is a chance to let the light in. Just like Emily, you can always fix your broken dreams with love, patience, and faith in yourself. Subscribe for more heartfelt and inspiring stories, because sometimes the smallest lessons create the biggest changes in our hearts.